Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. A year ago, I had a near-death-like experience, and ever since then, I could pick up on energies, and I could even hear from God itself. I was told it would take my soul 14,422 lifetimes to be completed. So I decided to start a social media platform so I can help more people speed this thing on up and finally get my butt up off this matrix. Hey, how many lifetimes do I have to be a coal miner? I'm tired. Guys, welcome back to Instructions for Humanity. I'm being silly. You know, it's your girl Tahira, your spiritual teacher. You know, I teach the message. We are all one in love. Grow with me, guys. Love with me. It is going to be a great ride. Okay, guys, go ahead and click on that subscribe button. Do it now, please. Help your girl grow. And then go ahead and click on the like button and the notification bell so you do not miss any of my future episodes. Okay, guys, this is big. Do I look sweaty? Sorry, shea butter. Okay, this is very big. A few days ago, I did a message about you'll never leave the matrix unless you do this. I'm going to go ahead and link that video. Then the next day, I got a channeled message from Mother God about the matrix. She wants to clarify some things. Now, guys, you know, on this channel, we strip ourselves down to pure spirit, being translucent. We don't have any imagery about bodies or masculine, feminine bodies or any sort of preconceived gods that we may have heard of. I'm guided by my intuitive spirit. I'm guided by my own Akashic records, my highest divine thought. And when I channel information, it's simply just information that I already have inside of me. It's like I'm talking to myself, my highest divine thought, okay? So I think this is interesting. I recorded it, and it's like 27 minutes, so I may break this video up, but we want to get the heck out of the matrix, but we also need to understand, why are we doing this? What is the purpose to life? And Mother God came through and was like, girl, I'm going to tell you. And it's very powerful. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and play a little bit, and then we're going to break it down as we go along. I'm going to try to not make this video too long. I might make a part 2. I do have a bowl of water here. You guys know I do read energies in water. So at any point that we need to clarify some things, I'll go ahead and just see what the water itself has to, say, if it wants to provide any additional messages. Here we go.
There is a utopic, euphoric state that is waiting for a call that I want to give to my creation as my creators have given to me. You are being molded. You all are being molded. That is the purpose of this life, of this matrix, as you call it. I'm getting the image of a game, like when I used to go to Chuck E. Cheese. There's a ball game, and when you roll the ball up this wooden plank, the ball goes round and round in circles until the circle gets so small that the ball has no choice but to drop into the hole in the middle. I'm not sure if that's how the game goes, but that's the image I'm being shown, that really there's only one hole that the ball can go into in this game. And the ball will continue to go round and round, passing different numbers. I'm seeing the number 9, 3, and 6, and 2, and 0, 1. We are the ball. We are being molded. That is why we are here. When that ball comes out of your mother, which is us, when we come out of our mother, there is a matrix matrix is the same thing. Because you keep going round and round and round until either it stops on its own, the miracle wheel, meaning all the steam have run out of the game. It's over. You're no longer scared when it stops. You're no longer screaming when it stops. You realize that it was just a game. And now that you know that you are safe and your feet are planted back on the ground, you realize just how fun this game was, even though it took you through a range of emotions, from fear to happiness to even being very, very nervous and afraid for your life. So,
okay, I'm stopping it right there. I took some notes. The first thing I want to say is, so Mother God, as I refer to her as, and I met Mother God through a very difficult time in my life, and I was meditating. I heard a voice say, "I am your mother." And I knew it wasn't my earthly mother that had passed on. This was a very authoritative figure that is saying, "Hey, chin up. I am your mother. I got your back." And so Mother God came through, and I asked, is it okay to call you Mother God? I don't have a particular name right now, but I'm being told to call her Mother God. Maybe in the future I can get the name of this Mother God, but for now I'm calling her Mother God. I think it's interesting. She said there is a rest that is waiting for all of my creations, with an S, creations. All of my creations. And then she goes on to say that there's a rest I want to give my creations, just as my Creator has given to me. So this Mother God that I speak of has also a Creator. So guys, it's very important to understand that we are part of the creation story, and she's going to go on to speak about that later. But that's the circle of life that we're in. Just as we have a Creator, our Creator has a Creator, and that Creator has a Creator. It truly is the circle of life. And so I find that it was interesting when she was describing the matrix. She was giving a picture that we can hold in our mind about why we are here on this earth. So she showed me a game that I used to play when I was in Chuck E. Cheese, and when we would go to have parties at Chuck E. Cheese, or you find it like all of these pin stacks and all of these places you go to play games. It's like a wooden plank. You roll the ball up, right? So it takes momentum to roll the ball up, and then it goes around and round in circles, and those circles normally have numbers on it, and goes round and round and round until it lands in a certain hole. So in this particular image she was showing me, there was only one hole, meaning only one way out. There were many circles inside of circles, but there was only one hole, only one way out. And so that is the matrix, she says, that you call it, that you speak of. This is the purpose of life. I'm going to break it down more, but let me just go ahead and play a bit more. And I find that it was interesting that when I was just doing an energy check with the water, my right shoulder just started to go down, down, down. And I kind of got the sense that when she was talking about creation, I just wanted to know a little bit more about my Creator, as she goes on to say that she has creations, and I know that I am one of them, that we are created out of, I'm hearing, the right side. We are to finish off the left side of our own creation. So the creation starts with the Creator. But I just find it weird that my right shoulder started to go down, down, down. And it was almost like someone was tugging on it. She's making emphasis that there's aspects of us that our Creator instills in us. And then there's another aspect, and I'm assuming on the left side, that we instill in ourselves to finish off our creation of self. Okay, let's continue.
Matrix is like a merry-go-round. It's like this game that I'm seeing in my mind. The ball goes up the wooden plank, and it circles, 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 circles around, passing many numbers along the way, and the existence is getting smaller and smaller and smaller until finally the ball has completed all of the turns. It has completed the merry-go-round. It has completed the circles, but it has gone in many circles. It repeated circles and repeated circles. And then when it finished repeating that circle, it went to the smaller circle and repeated that circle and repeated that circle. So sometimes it takes us multiple times to get one lesson. And sometimes it takes us multiple lives to get one lesson. And that's okay. The steam is going to run out eventually. And the time clock that we are on is simply just the time clock of our soul. It's when our soul learns the lesson. That is the per se time clock. And it cannot just be perceived from one life. It's
okay. Excuse me. Okay, stopping it there. So she compares the Matrix to not only that game where you roll the ball up the wooden plank, but the Matrix as a merry-go-round. You know, on the playground, you just, you know, you run, and then you hop on the merry-go-round. And I'm not talking about the one that is like electronic that like goes like this. I'm talking about the old school parks where you just run and then you jump on this little thing and it goes around and around and you keep going around until all the momentum runs out. That's the Matrix she's trying to describe. That is, once you jump in the Matrix, once you jump on the ride, you can't get off of the ride until the momentum stops, which she'll speak about later. But I just wanted to drive that point home, that the purpose is to be molded, is what she said in the beginning. Excuse me. We are all being molded, is what she said in the beginning. That's the purpose in coming to these lights, because the creators, this is a way that they are creating us from the right side. And I'm assuming it's the right brain. They are able to create this portion of us here. And we'll finish off the rest of our creation later. But I'm kind of getting the sense that, I'm sorry, I was distracted because there was a little gnat that flew in my bowl. I was trying to free him. But yeah, it's interesting. I'm going to just continue on, but she's just basically talking about the Matrix is a merry-go-round. And there's only really one way off once the momentum stops.
When the lesson is learned, that is the completion of that said ball. That ball would be you and me. That ball would be our soul. So it is a game. That is topsy-turvy. That is a merry-go-round. But at the same time, once you complete all of the rounds, once you complete all of the lessons, you have no choice but to drop back down and to exit. So there is a way out of this. But there are just many lessons to be learned. What are the lessons for, Mother God? Well, like I said, if I'm the creator, and I have a creator, then you must also be a creator. You cannot be a creator without learning how to create the very thing that you have, which is yourself. Creation never stops, because there's always more to create within the said body, within the said mind. I gave you the initial creation, the initial spark. how will you build upon that? If you cannot create yourself with all the many different variations that there are here, then how can you create anything else? It's just like having a child. If the mother does not, or parents do not do well in their own lives, if they do not know right from wrong, if they do not have the tools to raise healthy, happy children, if they don't have the tools instilled in them already, then they will not have the tools to pass down to their offspring. And so their offspring will not be able to fully create. So the biggest creation is how we create ourselves, how we build upon what we already have, which is life, which is the breath of life, which is existence.
Okay, I'm gonna stop it right there. Sorry, I'm coughing. So sorry, I'm coughing. She said something very poignant here. She said creation never stops. And then she talks about there's always more to create. And she goes on talking about the mind. So the universe is mental, guys. The universe is all in the mind. It is a never-ending creation. And she just proves that. As we grow in these lost worlds, aka the matrices, guys, what's going on? Is there someone wanting to say something? Because I keep coughing. I keep coughing. What is it? Does someone want to speak? What's going on? Give me a second. This is gonna sound so freaking strange. This sounds so weird to me. Piano player. Sounds so strange. Okay, like literally my feet went numb and then my hands went into the water and like kind of like this, and I heard piano player. We are to make a beautiful symphony. I think that's how you say it. We are to make a beautiful symphony here. Many intricacies when you open that piano, many strings and many different aspects and components of it that you can't see. That is the nuts and bolts that your creator has installed inside of you, the piano. And those strings are connected. Although when you're playing the keys, you're just playing one key. You just think it's you in the game. But you're connected to all the other keys. So we are to make a beautiful symphony. Music. We are to make beautiful music here, collectively. Which is what Mother God is saying to me. So all of the components of us are inside of the piano. You can't see how all of the components are connected to each other. You think you're just playing your note, but no, your note and their note makes the beautiful symphony. That's why we're here, to make beautiful music. Wow, that's very poetic. That's just beautiful. That's beautiful. That's why the angelic sing. Music is a very big part of this multiverse because it's energy, it's frequency and vibration. They want us to make that down here, to make beautiful symphony. That's wild. That's so beautiful. Wow, that's beautiful. And so, going back to why we're here, We are here to, when we are moving, throw the ball up that wooden plank, right? And then the momentum starts going round and round and round. Sometimes that ball can go around one circle 10 times until it moves into a smaller circle. Those are the lessons. Sometimes it takes you 10 times to learn one lesson. Sometimes it takes you one time to learn one lesson. But it is through the learning of these lessons is how we are able to create. So we are being molded to become creator gods, essentially, is what I am getting. That is the purpose of this so-called matrix, so to speak. Okay?
Creation is finished off by you. That is the purpose. That is the reason for being molded. So that we can keep creating, keep passing down, keep creating, keep building upon what we have built upon. The circle of life. There are many circles of life, and these circles are to be interwoven together. So each of us complete a circle that is interwoven together. And eventually, all of those circles that are interwoven together make the greater whole, make the source whole. Because source is not whole without all of us doing our part. Many people, they give all of this credit to source without giving any credit or little credit to themselves. If you do not complete your circle, if you do not complete your miracle realm, this source cannot be complete.
Okay, I'm going to pause it right there. I don't want this video to be too long. I'm going to make a part 2. But let's just go ahead, and I find that interesting that she's saying that each of us have to do our part. If you don't complete your circle, then source cannot be completed. Guys, I told you guys once before, we are bots that are sent out here. We are gathering information. When we take this information back to source, that's how source grows and expands. So essentially, God, the prime creator of all source, cannot be source without us, because we are source. We're just little aspects, and we are gathering information, whether it be right or wrong. It goes into the collective database. And that is how the universe, aka God, the prime source, expands. So we are part of the expansion. Through our many hardships, we are part of that expansion. So essentially, there would be no God. What she's saying is there would be God, but the expansion of God, that is never ending, would just not happen. So we are here so that they could create, but also so that we can be molded, so that we can also create the circle of life. She said each circle is interwoven. You have one circle here, and somebody else completes this circle. It's like a chain, and all those circles complete a circle until you get the greater whole of source. So this whole life is circular. I don't know. This whole life moves in circles. Source moves in circles. The first movement that source made was actually a spear. This is how our universe was formed. And it kept repeating that pattern until it made the spears in a circle. So essentially, source is duplicating itself because it is a creator God. So it is doing what it knows to do, which is to duplicate itself, to also create. And that's what we are. I'm going to pause it right here. We're going to pick it up in another video in a part 2. Okay? All right. Bye. See you soon.